It is a great day to be alive, and I am so thankful for God, Jesus Christ, who lives in us. Today's video is titled Updates, BNB Tiger Breakout Dream, March 8th, What Actually Happened. Before we get started, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing that I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply sharing dreams, visions, and interpretations that I feel God has given me as it relates to crypto. Now, let's get into the video. So with this BNB Tiger Dream, what we're looking at is a combo of BNB Tiger Breakout, followed by movement with Luna or Lunk. And I came to the conclusion that what I was looking at was a combo of these two coins based on research. And I shared this conclusion to this dream in previous videos. If you have not seen those 3 videos, I encourage you to check them out. And here are all 3 of those videos, all posted before the start of the second part of the Winter Olympics. Now, when it comes down to this dream, there were components that I shared specifically about this dream. The unfolding of the majority of the components of this dream happened during the first Olympics, or it was something that had already happened in 2018 that relates to the Winter Olympics, which connected to the Pentagon, which was the main focus of this dream. And that Pentagon, I'm referring to the one in South Korea, where the Olympic Games were held in 2018. So again, the components of this dream, the main components, either connect to the 2018 Winter Olympics or the 2026 Winter Olympics. And I put all those things within those videos. So if you want to go back and check those out and see how these components unfold, you can check that out. But quickly going through the numbers, the Pentagon game from the dream was represented by the Pentagon-shaped venue for 2018 Winter Olympics. The 2 tigers being locked up and one broke out. That is what we were waiting for. Number 3, decentralized in the dream. They call us decentralized. That represents BNB Tiger, specifically the old OG BNB Tiger. Why? Because going back to 2018, the mascot for the Winter Olympic Games during that time at that Pentagon-shaped venue in South Korea, their mascot was a white tiger. And from there, I concluded that this dream, the breakout of that one tiger that I saw, had to be the white tiger, the BNB Tiger, the OG BNB Tiger. The man on the scavenger map in my dream, the Vitruvian man that I saw during the Olympics 2026 this year, the Vitruvian man that was seen in the opening of one of the Olympic Games, the Vitruvian man was transforming into a figure skater. So I shared that. And then finally in the dream, I lost my tooth. At the end of the Olympic Games, NHL USA team, one of the hockey players lost his tooth, and that hockey player went on to score the winning goal for the US, and they won gold. So again, in those videos, I will show you the unfolding of this dream as God was leading me through, making me aware of these things. And we ended the last video on the note of looking at the date of March the 8th. So now this brings us to part 2 of the Winter Olympics, the Paralympics. It brings us to a second Pentagon and also to the date of March the 8th. As explained in the other video, this Pentagon comes in only because of the Super Bowl. But it connects to the Olympic Games because during each, there was a preview of this new series called The Burbs, which received high ratings because both the Super Bowl and the Olympic Games were showing a preview of it. Now, after this Super Bowl game was over, I saw an article about Charlie Sheen, Bad Bunny, and his comments about the halftime performance during the Super Bowl. Well, last year, I shared with you guys another video about how Charlie Sheen is tied to Iran. Now, in a separate video, unrelated to crypto, focusing solely on war, I talked about this article. I talked about this connection between Charlie Sheen, what God was giving me, Iran. And I posted this video this year, February the 20th, in between me doing my BNB Tiger Dream video updates. During this time, I had no idea that this war connection would also connect to BNB Tiger. And basically, again, in that video, I was talking about my dream from last year, March 21st, when I saw the Iranian parachutes all over the sky. What I saw in my dream connects to what is seen in a movie called Red Dawn. And therefore, I connected Charlie Sheen to Iran for this reason. Again, that's in the video that I did on February 20th this year about Bad Bunny and the Charlie Sheen article. This article was a heads up that something was about to go down with Iran. And if it's anything like an Iran invasion on U.S. soil, this would get another Pentagon involved, and that Pentagon would be the D.O.W. And so that is why we are now looking at two pentagons. And here in this diagram, the Pentagon representing the D.O.W. will be on the side with Bad Bunny, Charlie Sheen, and the Iranian flag. And the other side will represent the Olympics Pentagon. And then shortly after making that video on February 20th, talking about the article with Charlie Sheen and Bad Bunny, and feeling that this was representing something was coming down the pipeline with Iran, we got the news on February 28th that the U.S. and Israel had now attacked. We got the news that the U.S. and Israel were taking war actions against Iran. By this time, the U.S. and Iran tension had already been added to our timeline. It was an event that we were watching. We're watching for changes, watching for conclusions of this event. This lineup I have already shared. Again, it connects to the BNB Tiger Dream and the timing of when BNB Tiger will break out. I feel that we are to watch for the conclusion, again, the conclusion and major changes in these events when it comes to Savannah and her mom, when it comes to Bitcoin, of course, the U.S. and Iran. And for Bitcoin, we know that we were waiting for the completion of that 80% crash. So all of these things right now are ongoing. And along with these events, I included specific dates and date ranges that I have been praying about, and as to when we will see the BNB Tiger breakout and the price movement with Luna. Which brings us to March the 8th, BNB Tiger breakout, Luna price movement. This is what I was looking for to take place on March the 8th. Again, March the 8th fell within the timeline for the second part of the Winter Olympics, the Paralympics. And this Paralympics timeline would then fall on the turn of events as far as the war, Israel, U.S. and Iran, which started on February the 28th. And again, this would connect to BNB Tiger because we are looking at a second Pentagon. So why March the 8th? One of the cast members from the TV series The Burbs, the one that was previewed during the Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics. So looking at the cast from this new TV series, his character name is Naveen. I shared that a few days prior to doing this research on this cast member that I saw an article about a tiger whose name was Naveen. This name will bring us back to BNB Tiger. This actor's birthday is March the 8th, and therefore I was looking for something to take place on March the 8th as it relates to BNB Tiger breakout and Luna price movement. So here's our lineup. The second Pentagon, March 8th. We're looking at the Paralympics, March 6th through the 15th. And we're looking at U.S. and Iran tensions. March the 8th rolled around and no BNB Tiger breakout. So I'm praying about it. I'm like, okay, God, so why was March 8th significant? It's very obvious that all these things are tying in, that there was something to look forward to as far as this second part of the Winter Olympics with the Paralympics, March the 8th. What was the significance behind this date of March the 8th? And because I made the Iran connection with this second Pentagon as it relates to Charlie Sheen and Iran, I began to do my research and I found out that the new Iranian successor was named on March the 8th. Another video that I shared during the time that I have been dropping these updates to this BNB Tiger Dream, another video titled The Lion and the Eagle, I talked about a specific date of April the 19th, me deriving a date of April the 19th based on a dream. And the message for that dream was a war is coming. And I talked about me seeing this World War III that I'm seeing, something's being covered up. And I talked about the colors and how I use those colors to derive the date of April the 19th, 2026. Well, why is this important to March the 8th? Well, April the 19th is the birthday to the father of the person who was chosen on March the 8th as Iran's new leader. When I put two and two together, it made sense. God was showing me a father and a son. On March 3rd this year, I shared how I got the father's birthday. And then, not knowing March 8th would be the day that this man's son would succeed him as the leader of Iran. So March 8th fits the outline, not only with the Winter Olympics, the Paralympics, that time frame of March the 6th through the 15th, but it also fits the event of the second Pentagon having to do with the D.O.W, Department of War. And here we're not seeing a conclusion of anything, but what we are seeing is a major change. And that is something that I shared that we want to look out for, this major change. So what does this mean for BNB Tiger? I take seeing this major change as a form of confirmation of what we're waiting for as far as the breakout for BNB Tiger. So as one Pentagon is complete, the other Pentagon is ongoing. We've witnessed a major change as it relates to the date of March 8th. So March 8th, a new Iranian successor was chosen. But did you also know, as it relates to the Paralympics, as it relates to this second Pentagon, as it relates to Iran, all of these things coming together on the same timeline, did you know that Iran did not compete in the Paralympics? The sole person representing Iran for this Paralympics could not travel due to safety reasons. And these safety reasons were security fears regarding the ongoing Middle East conflict. So now we see the Pentagon, the war, crossing over into the Olympics, Pentagon and Olympic Games. Did you also know that the Paralympics started but also ended with a boycott? Here it says ended with another boycott. That's because it began with one as well. And this boycott was done over Russia's return to the Paralympic Games. So there was a lot of drama going on during the Paralympics that had to do with the Iranian war between the U.S. and Israel and Iran, as well as the ongoing war with Ukraine. Now, we're talking about Israel, the U.S. and Iran. What does the Ukraine-Russia war have to do with any of this? Well, that war is important with what's going on now because of oil. We also heard about the Russian sanctions being removed because of this Iran-U.S.-Israel war. And you have to look at the effects that this has on Ukraine and how this changes that war. This article goes on to say that the Russian flag made its official return at the opening ceremony, and the national anthem was played for the first time at the Olympics since 2016. And then this article goes on to mention about the U.S., Israel, and the Iran war that it's been taking place right now, and the effects that it has had on this Paralympics game. So that is why it was needful for us to take a look at the second part of this Winter Olympic game and not excluded. And although we didn't see the BNB Tiger breakout during this second part of the Paralympics, we see the connection and ties that it had to that second Pentagon. And so we know that we're on the right track as far as looking at this BNB Tiger dream. And again, with the major change that took place on March the 8th, not the BNB Tiger breakout, but a major change in an event connected to the second Pentagon. It comes as confirmation that this BNB Tiger breakout is close. Again, one Pentagon complete. The other Pentagon is ongoing. Where does BNB Tiger fit in anymore in this timeline? Well, to clean things up a bit, again, March 19th, April 6th through the 7th. Those dates were pulled from two different lunar dreams that I had, but getting the focus back on to BNB Tiger and Luna, this big combo. Please be on the lookout for a new video that I will share after this video. I'm going to be sharing a new BNB Tiger dream. I'm going to be sharing 2 new dates. I believe that this new dream brings confirmation to what we already know and what I've already shared about this combo between BNB Tiger breakout and Luna price movement. And here is what this new thumbnail will look like as far as this new video that's coming out. Again, we're talking about this BNB Tiger Dream and Luna Classic combo. The title of this new video to look forward to is titled Tarot Classic and BNB Tiger Will Be Unstoppable. And it's just so much that God has shown me between the time of the last video and now. I've just had to wait it out to the end of this Olympic Games so I can have a full visual of what it is that God was showing us for us that March 8th date, and why we were looking at the week of the Paralympics, March 6th through the 15th. All the while, God was still dropping nuggets and dreams. And so I'm excited to share what's new. Again, 2 new dates and something else very unique to share in that video. Again, we're still looking for a BNB Tiger Breakout and Luna price movement. That is all that I have for this video. Until the next one, God bless.